Hi, welcome back. Today we are talking about why it's important to be focused on changing consciousness rather than changing reality, because ultimately we have no power over reality. We only have power over our consciousness, so that's where we want to be focusing our attention, and that's what I want to talk about today. I'm Hedley Derenzie, and I am a qualified life coach, adult educator, and author. I'm also super passionate about the amazing teachings of the Law of Assumption as originally taught by the wonderful Neville. It is the stories that create our reality. So if you want to change your reality, then you need to know how to change the story. And if you want to create amazing realities where you end up getting everything that you could ever want and more, then you need to know how to tell those stories. And that's why I'm here, because I'm passionate about telling myself those stories and I want to help you to do the same. If you would like further support with changing your stories, then I am available for one-on-one coaching and also email coaching. And you can also stay connected with me on my socials. I will put all the details in the box below. With that in mind, let's get started. So one of the things I see happening with people who have just discovered the Law of Assumption or starting to put these teachings into practice is coming at it from a place of wanting reality to be different. And I myself have gone through this and experienced this and still do to a degree. We kind of come into it from a place of, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to change my reality and get everything I want. Yes, that is going to happen when you put these teachings into play. However, when we come at it from a place of wanting to control reality, that's where we find we end up can become very frustrated, because we do not have control over reality. Reality is a reflection of consciousness. It essentially holds no power, because it's simply a reflection. So where we need to be putting our attention is changing consciousness. We want to be focused on changing consciousness, not reality. And something that I really do see quite often with people is, especially in the area of relationships, when they're working with a specific person and a relationship and they're wanting to get a particular result, is that they can become really focused on the outcome, on reality, and then get very frustrated as to why what they want is not showing up the way they want it in the time that they want it. And that's because the focus is on the wrong thing. If you're focused on reality and changing reality, you're going to be having experiences of feeling like you're banging your head against the wall, because you're changing something, you're looking outside of you and you're wanting to change something outside of you. So reality is only ever a reflection. It's an opportunity for feedback. So if you want to know where your consciousness is at and the quality of your consciousness, you can just look at your reality and go, okay, what is my reality showing? And is it favorable or unfavorable? And that will tell you the quality of your consciousness, whether that's you've got a high quality story running or a low quality story running in that particular area. So reality is just an opportunity for feedback to see where you're at. And yes, you can change things in your reality, but that comes after. So that's the byproduct of the changing consciousness. So with Law of Assumption, what we are focusing on with these teachings is changing our consciousness. We are changing it in terms of aligning it to what we want to experience in our consciousness. And then reality will reflect it back. But we're not doing it for that, because when we apply these teachings in the right way, we are living from the end. We are aligning to the consciousness of already having that thing that we want. So therefore, there is not a need for the reality to show up, because we already have it in consciousness. And consciousness is the one and only reality. Reality is just the reflection. It's just the reflection of what we have already changed in our consciousness. And when you have become conscious of something and you are aligned with that consciousness, so you already have that thing that you want, there's not a need for it, because you already have it. It's in your consciousness. So I'll give you a specific example. So let's say you're single and you want to be partnered. It is very difficult, almost impossible, to go from being single to partnered without a shift in consciousness. So if you are single, then chances are you have a consciousness of being single. You're conscious of being single. You're conscious of your singleness. And if you want to be partnered, then you want to cultivate a consciousness of being partnered in the face of your singleness. So what you're doing is you're aligning your consciousness to what it is that you want to experience before you have it in your reality. And that's where we engage the power of our imagination using a whole range of techniques, whether it's visualization, affirmations, scripting, revisioning, rewriting, inner conversations, sleep affirmations, subliminals, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There's a bunch of different ways that you can engage your imagination to help you align yourself with the consciousness of having what it is that you want. And then once you have aligned yourself to a consciousness of partnership, meaning that you're in partnership in your consciousness with your ideal person. So you've engaged your imagination to create this amazing relationship with this amazing person, and then you're living in that state. So you're going about your day living from the end of being in a happily partnered relationship. You're happily partnered. You then are not looking outside yourself at reality as to have they shown up yet? Has it happened? Because that would then suggest that it hasn't. You're not in your consciousness of being happily partnered. When you have what you want in consciousness, you no longer look to reality to see whether it's happening because you already have it. And consciousness is the one and only reality. And that's the reality that you hold, knowing that the 3D is just a reflection of consciousness, so that by holding the new consciousness, that state, eventually it will catch up and you will find yourself in the relationship that you've already imagined, and it'll magically show up. And that's where life gets fun. That's where reality gets really fun, because like things start happening really synchronistically. You find yourself having these amazing synchronistic conversations. You bump into people, you walk down that street instead of that street, and you bump into this person. You get introduced to that person. All of a sudden, reality kind of reorganizes itself to match up with the consciousness that you've already created using the power of your imagination. So I just wanted to sort of share that with you, because what I find, especially as we're starting out, that some people can get really hung up on trying to control reality and trying to get an outcome and kind of missing the whole point. This is not about controlling reality. We have no control over reality. The only thing we have control over is our consciousness and our state of consciousness. And that's where we want to be putting our focus and attention and investing our energy, using the power of our imagination to create the states of consciousness that we want to hold, knowing that the byproduct of doing so is that reality will conform and reorganize itself to match up with those states of consciousness. So if you find yourself in a position or in a situation where you're looking outside of yourself for something that hasn't shown up yet, that's a nice indicator to tell you that you've sort of fallen out of consciousness with what it is that you want to create. Not a big deal. No need to be hard on yourself or berate yourself for that. It's just an opportunity to see that, oh, okay, cool. I'm looking outside of myself for something. I'm in a state of lack, not believing that I am the creator of my reality. I'm the writer, the director, the producer, and the star of my movie. I get to write out how this plays out. I don't need to worry what's going on outside of me. That's just feedback. That's just showing me kind of where I'm at. I'm like, oh, that's just my reality doing its thing. I know that it'll eventually catch up when I am aligned with the state of consciousness that I want to experience. And then when I am in that experience, I know it. You know it. You feel it. You kind of like, yeah, cool. It's done. It's absolutely that guy, that person, that woman, that lover, that whoever is absolutely showing up. I know they are because I can feel it. I'm in it. They're with me now. It feels amazing. So I'm not even worried. I'm going about my day. I'm getting my work done. I'm working out. I'm catching up with friends. I'm just living my best life because I have already aligned with that consciousness. So there's nothing to worry about. So yeah, it's just a shift in focus. That's all this is. It's just realigning and remembering that reality follows consciousness, and consciousness is created with the power of our imagination. So as best we can to kind of just, take our focus off this amazing, incredible reality. Enjoy it for what it is, but it is a reflection of your consciousness. So just simply enjoy it. try not to fall into the trap of believing that that is what is real. It is your consciousness that is real. Reality is simply a reflection of that. I hope that makes sense. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Feel free to share this with your family and friends and subscribe to my channel, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Bye.